Emily Johnson.
Jada Rene. First question: how can you apply the video we just watched to your devised audition piece?
Well, they used a technique called over and under. We did this before when we were doing our devising piece last year, where one person does a movement over the other person, whether it be like over the head or over their arm or whatever, and the other person goes under, and you keep doing that. And it's kind of like a building block for devising, so like you can change the dynamic of it, the emotion, the eye connection and stuff like that. And I feel like that's such a like basic thing that you can build on by adding those things. And like, because with our devising, we've got 3 options really. We're a quote.
The thing is though, I don't think we'd be able to use that because we're doing it like as a solo.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So like, I don't think it would actually help.
Yeah, because you can't do over and under. But I think it's like the same idea. You know what I mean?
Right.
Building something from something like simple.
Yeah, and I don't. Okay, actually, that's the next question. Never mind.
What's
Should we
next?
go to it? Next question: what are your initial ideas? I don't really have any ideas because, like, I'm not. Like, as you said, it's not dance. Well, I can't really do anything. Like, I can't make a monologue out of any of this because, like, I don't really understand the stimuluses.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, they don't make sense to my brain.
See, because I wasn't in when they got given the stimulus, so I've legit just been given it now. But what I can see is that they both contain words like to do with space.
Did he
like,
tell you what you can do for it?
No, he just gave me the sheet and said you choose one of them.
Basically, you can either do a dance, make a monologue out of it, or like create a song. But with the song, you have to like make your own backing track
And like riff and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So everyone was like, no. But like, I was like thinking the poem.
Middle
because,
one,
like,
yeah.
I really like the poem. And I think you can do a lot more of that because I don't really understand the quote and the picture I didn't really understand either. So, yeah.
I will probably do. I think that maybe I'll do a monologue.
Because you could like.
Because we've got to do a divide in the audition. Because we're doing a mock audition, we have to do a dances as well. So I feel like, and because dance isn't my strong point, I don't really want to be doing something that I know I'm not good at.
We don't really know what to do because like we already have to do 3 monologues.
Yeah.
We already have to. Well, we only have to do 1 song, innit, for the audition.
Yeah, we choose one of the 3. Yeah.
But no one really knows how to make a backing track and everything. Like I know I can't do that stuff.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, a monologue would be like perfect thing, but we're doing 3 and like I can't like choreograph a dance.
See, for me, it references back to that lesson we had with Joe and Cam that you particularly didn't like when we were doing a devising workshop and we had to do a devising solo then.
Yeah.
And like, because our emotions towards that wasn't very positive, we were not looking forward to this task.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so I don't think that kind of helped, but I think once we get more into it and we've had more support in what we're doing, because I feel like at the moment it's been just given to us. Yeah. Well, for me anyway, because I wasn't in the lesson, so I don't know what you were like guided with what you were doing with it, but...
I'm not really guided anywhere, we were just like... just telling us what we're supposed to do with it and stuff.
But I think, like
with the poem, like, because it's like quite depressing. Like you could like make a monologue about. I don't know.
It's only 5 lines long as well, so.
Like you don't necessarily have to use like all of the poem.
Yeah.
Like you can choose like a certain line
and
or
go off that.
Yeah.
And adapt.
Because like I did have an idea about that, but I was like, would I be able to remember 4 monologues? Like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So that's why I don't really want to do a monologue. So I might try and choreograph a dance, but I don't know. I like need help. Like, I need someone to like help me because I've never choreographed anything. Yeah. I've never had a lesson on how to do that. So
I think for me, the quote and the poem both reference like space.
Yeah, you could.
And
use
so
all
like
3.
you could use like when I'm looking at it,
As long
just
as you
think
can like explain how
why,
you got
yeah.
what you have from that,
Yeah.
And yeah, he said you can use all three.
So, because I mentioned space, I was thinking, because space is like quite a wide range of things, you could use a lot of that. And so I think of going into something like a small space, because they're talking about how big an enormous box, like what if it wasn't enormous, what if you contradicted that and make it a small space, you know, something like that. But I don't know, it's all in the beginning stages, so we'll soon see.
Yeah. What might you change now that you've seen the video? So what might you change about that? Nothing really, because I didn't really like the video.
I think kind of because we've done it before ourselves, that actual exercise, I think relating back to that, it's kind of made me realise that I need to experiment more, and like this is so early that we got given it like this week, and so I can't just like jump at an idea like, yeah, I'm definitely doing a song, or I'm definitely doing that. So it's so early stages, there's everything, like so many things jumbled at once. Until something actually sticks and we get further into it, then I think we can start setting the groundwork into what the next step is. But until then, I don't think we are in the right terms of doing that.
Yeah. Did you say you would change the idea?
No, I'd use that to help me.
Because it says, why would you change?
No.
Well, I wouldn't, so that doesn't really apply to us. What are your concerns about the device piece? My concern is that I'll completely fail, since I don't have a proper idea, and like I'm not very imaginative. I like just being given something and be like, do that.
Same.
Like, I find that easy, because like when we go into that world of acting and singing and dancing, they're not going to be like, okay, so we want you to do this role, but I want you to devise the whole script. They're not going to do that. They'll just give it to you and be like, do this, put your input on it and stuff, but do this.
Yeah. See, when you're given a script, you're given the basics, so you know what you've got to say, but how you say it and how you put it across to the audience is up to you. Whereas with this is all up to us. Like, we've been given, here's some ideas of what you could do, what you could use, but you can't actually do it. You know what I mean?
But I like, you remember last year when we had one of Jamie's class, and he was like, oh, I want you to write a paragraph of something that you love or something.
Oh yeah.
And then do a solo
about that
movement / dance about it. I like that. I would actually do that again.
But then
I don't
maybe
know what I would write.
Maybe you could find, if you're saying about doing a dance, maybe you could find something in that you like. You know what I mean?
And again, I'm not a very good dancer.
But you know, you can just experiment.
If someone was like, okay, I want you to improvise dance right now, I would have no actual idea, because like I don't know dance moves.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
So I don't like, the only lessons of dance I've ever had is here. And
yeah, see, for me it's like a confidence thing, because I know that I can't dance, or I'm not very good at devising stuff.
Yeah.
So when it's a group project, I think it's fine, because like when we were given a box, we were given the ideas, so and everyone had loads of different ideas to contribute.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just all of our contribution for ourselves.
Yeah.
And so it's not just for the sake of everyone else; it's just for the sake of us and for our grade.
Yeah.
And I think that's what concerns me, that I'm gonna go with not necessarily the wrong way, but necessarily a direction with it that I might not think is a good idea when I get to the end of it, you know what I mean? And then regret everything that I've done and wish that I hadn't spent time on it.
Yeah, that's me.
So, yeah.
Okay, so now to normal questions. What have you done this week?
Well, I've only been in the
You haven't been in?
because I've been
Okay.
in hospital.
What did we do? Okay, so in Cam's street dance lesson, we went over the PYT dance and the black and white dance, and like we like, how do you say that? We got like more into it, not like that, but like we like, you see how we were at first when we like kind of knew a few of the moves, but like we were like
got more comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's it. We're getting more comfortable with it, and like getting like to know the moves a bit more, so we just like all done it in unison and everything. And then I don't know the name of the song, but there's another dance, but he was like, he's looking out for effort in the way you're doing it, because it's going to be like a selected you that
people,
does
yeah.
it. And I was like, oh, great. Because I can't do any of these moves. So I was like, okay.
You're counting on that.
Yeah. We had Joe's street dance this week as well. I didn't really like it at all. Because, like, he's, like, very poppy. And I'm like...
Not.
I'm like... I wouldn't say classical. I like Hayley's, like, contemporary and...
Ballet.
No, what's it called?
Jazz.
No. You know, commercial dances. And I like ballet, and like they're all like, I don't know, like a certain way. They're like flowy, not like
Isolations and stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't really like his lesson. What else did we do? We didn't do James' lesson. In Hayley's lesson, we done the thrill dance. Like we learned a bit of it, and I really liked that. And like I didn't find it, like I found it easy, but not like really easy. Like remembering is a big thing for me, because like when we're doing it and she's like, yeah, you do it like this, I'm like, oh my god, yes, I remember it. As soon as you put the music on, I'm like, where did that all go? Yeah. So yeah, I really like hers. I actually can't wait to do her one. I really hope we do. And she was telling us about Dirty Diana, because that's like the duet part.
Oh yeah.
And like
she's choosing
like,
people.
Yeah, she was like, it has to be like a sexy, intimate dance. And I was like, that's for me. So like I'm putting every piece of effort I own in my body into that. What else did we do? Oh, not Joe's, Cam's lesson. Were you there?
I was in yesterday.
Cam's lesson, it was because we don't have a screen acting teacher yet. He was taking over, and we learnt about a Chekhov person.
Michael Chekhov.
I think it might be him. Probably is. And actually, I feel like I'm here somewhere. 1 second. Let me get to my notes.
That's Gav's
lesson. I'm sure No, it weren't his lesson. I took it down then. Okay, well, never mind. It was like we had to get into. It was mostly like not about space, but like our bodies, like controlling that and everything. I didn't like it because I'm just not that person. I'm not about getting in
physical.
Yeah, I'm not a physical person. I'm not like get into the body, put my legs up and pretend I'm floating and pretending I'm like holding a cup. I'm not that person at all. I like my props. And like I just like actual stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. Gav's lesson, were you fine?
Oh yeah, I was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah. And that was all about, we had to choose as part of our independent study, choose a spirit animal for our Shakespeare monologue. So for me, I chose a bear.
I chose a cobra.
And so that was dependent on our characteristics from our character in that monologue or in the whole play. And so we started the lesson with the tennis ball in the game in the middle to get our focus down. And then did some quite physical, animalistic warm-ups on the floor.
I did not like that.
And so it was kind of like a race, but everyone was it was equal. It set out like a race, but everyone had to stay in time.
No, it weren't. Oh, Dad?
Yeah.
That went animalistic.
Yeah, it was. He said it was to get rid of all the human stuff, because you wouldn't walk around like this on your arms and knees, would you?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just one of those things I used to do it in primary school.
Like, so that we could get rid of like human stuff, because we normally just walk around, and so he was getting us to like walk on all fours.
It was like really hard for some people.
You didn't like it, did you?
Because like we're all like different strengths and like pace, and like I don't know, like I didn't want to feel like I was an idiot. Like that's what I felt like, but like I didn't want people to look at me and go, "Oh my god, what the hell is she doing?" and stuff.
Whereas I was on crutches.
Yeah, Yeah, you were funny. You were just like...
So Gavin was like, adapt it however you want it. So they're all on fours doing this, and there's like me crutches, like lifting one leg up at a time, you know, trying to adapt it.
That was funny.
Which was hard for me, because obviously I'm normally one of those people that... I'm normally one of the ones that are quite physical. I like doing that kind of thing to warm me up. And then I couldn't do it, so it was quite hard for me. But I did, thankfully, manage to get into the zone for what was approaching when we had to walk around in the space.
Like it was like percentages, like 10% animal, 90% human, and kept going up and up to 100%.
And so it included noises and interactions with people. So sometimes we were in our own bubble, just as us as our animal. Yeah. And then other times
it was we like had the animal on lead, and we were the animal.
And then he made us like focus down by floating into the floor, floating a kite and things like that.
I didn't really like the animal thing because like I picked a snake and it was a bit hard, like just wiggling on the floor. Yeah. And, like when people come up to me, it was like pretend you are the animal. So I was just like, like a snake. Like I didn't know what to do. Yeah. And like I don't know, because I know what a cobra does. I know how they move and everything, but I'm human and like I don't think I got
to the
like
place
in. Yeah. That mindset that I'm a cobra, like I didn't like it. Do you know this in every Viva? I'm like I didn't like that. Didn't like it.
At least you're honest. I found it quite interesting because I'm not a massive fan of, well, not being an animal, but being a bear is hard when you're on crutches, you know. So I was trying to more focusing on when we had to. Like not communicate, but notice other people in the room and how everyone was different animals, and so like some are birds of prey and things like that, and how they would react to each other, like in our characters, because like there's a reason we chose those animals, and that's because of our characters in our monologues. And so using that, we went into performing our monologues in front of people. And so it was quite interesting because people had motions that they never really thought before, or physicalities that they didn't have until they had done the animal exercise. So like for me, it was more aggressive and angry, whereas before it was a bit more timid. And after doing the bear warm-up, it kind of made me more feel like a bear and more aggressive than I had done before. So it made me realise that I think I should do it more like that.
Yeah.
What did you...
Sorry. Well, when we were doing the monologue, it was horrific. Because like I was trying to think in the mindset of like how a snake would say, because like obviously like, oh, you're such a snake, mate. Yeah. And I was like, okay, because that's where I got the snake idea from. Because like my character is like very jealous and like two-faced, and that's what I think a snake's like. Yeah. And they're like they're protective of their own. Yeah. So like that's how I think of my character, and I was like, how can I do that? So, because I added bitchiness into mine, because obviously I'm changing it from a man to a girl since I'm a female. And like, I don't know, like it was just her, because like, I was trying to think of that mindset, like, oh, how should I do it? How should I do it, snake? And like, because I only know like half of my monologue, I didn't even get through to that half. I only done like 5 lines and completely forgot because I was focusing on my characterization instead.
I think a lot of people, there was quite a few people in the class, including me, that mucked up their lines. Yeah. But I think mine played off more because I was like taking my time, because my character was taking the time in the pauses, whereas people like yours was quite an aggressive and bitchy one. Yeah. So when you didn't stop and you did muck up, it was kind of more noticeable.
And we like done a peer assessment on everything. Like we were chosen at random. Like they weren't like, oh, I'm gonna peer assess you.
He was just
like,
that.
Yeah, you have this person, you have this person, and like Rim done mine, and like I got a really good. Okay, I don't know how to explain this.
She got good at character.
I got completely good for my voice, because like I spoke clearly, apparently. I articulated, I projected my voice first time. And like I had the appropriate expression and I weren't like monotone. Obviously my memorization got like not at all, because and yeah, like the space, obviously I haven't like figured out what I'm actually doing for it, so I was like, So I was trying to like move around a little bit, but I don't. Like, I think in my head I was moving around a lot. 'Cause when I remember, I'm just like, yeah, I'm moving everywhere. But when everyone else saw it, was like, it's not really moving at all.
No, it was kind of like forward, back. But I think that's like a natural thing that we go to, like doing it while talking. You know, because that's like a natural thing, like tapping with the foot or.
And like apparently my focus was only a usual, because I didn't stay in character the whole time because I forgot my lines. And I like froze as like me, and then I was like, yeah, okay, that's it, because I couldn't actually remember. My character development is only a middle as well, but I understand that because I haven't fully developed it at all. Because like I don't know if what I want to do is set in stone, because like what if I decide I want to do that but then it's not actually good enough, and like when I go to an audition they're like, oh well, that's shit, I see it everywhere. It's like I'm like still trying to figure out what I want to do. So
but I think that we can use what we did in that exercise, and it was the first time that any of us had seen each other's monologues like the full as much as we wanted. Kind of obviously in our friends groups we've done little bits, but not everyone all together, and so I think it was a good experience. And it's kind of like with the singing last week, that was an experience because none of us had ever heard each other sing, and it's getting to the point now where everyone's like, oh, I actually have to perform it in front of my friends.
I didn't perform it, I like bursted out in tears.
This was last
because
Friday.
Like I've never, like the only time I've ever sung in front of someone was in an ensemble in like a play. So like I was like, for that I'm fine because no one can actually hear me. They can just see my mouth moving and think I am singing. But like when I was by myself, I was like, I can't sing. Because I definitely do not have confidence whatsoever. I don't have an ounce of confidence in my body. But I was able to do it in front of you and Sophia. And Leanne. And like I even cried during the song. Did you see me?
But this week, aren't we? Next
lesson
she's gonna do it.
I have to. I'm being forced against my will.
But for me, when we did that singing, I felt very vulnerable and underconfident, like Rene, because I've never sung in front of anyone other than like parents, you know, as a child, like around the house, you know, never, and choirs and things. But when you're on your own, you're very vulnerable. You're just stood there, and it's just you, the song, and everyone listening. And because they were marking as well as doing whether we're in pitch and stuff, I was like, oh no, I don't like this. But I kind of tried to play it off because my song was Wouldn't It Be Lovely, and that's quite a Cockney, confident type thing. So I was trying to play that off as my character.
That's the song I thought your song was. Isn't she lovely?
Oh.
I keep singing it in my head. I'm like, wouldn't it be like? No, that's not. Sorry,
but
I digress.
So although my pitch wasn't the greatest, but I think that was kind of something that needed to get across.
I like so understand you, man. Like, oh my god, like eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
Thanks. And so after, I think the more I do it, the more confident I'm going to get. And I know that I can do it, and I know I can stay in pitch when I'm on my own and when I'm doing it with friends. But when you're there and everyone's just standing looking at you, it's completely different. And I feel like because we've never been forced to do that before, it's a completely different experience, and that's why they want us to do it again. So we're doing it again next lesson, and we're going to keep trying to do that to build our confidence.
I don't think not acceptable. I don't think it was appropriate the way
it was kind of jumped on us.
Yeah, literally. Can you shut up, bro?
Sleep, rave, repeat.
So we were
It's good.
fuck off. So we
Sway, you know.
were like getting ready for a class, and she
Them
just
what?
came in and
Them
was
what?
like, oh,
Well,
by the way,
oh
you're doing
my
it in
God.
front of everyone.
Word.
Can you shut? Yeah, you're doing it in front of everyone, and like we were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like I didn't think it was appropriate because like they know that we have zero confidence.
I mean,
they know that
some
we've
of
never
us
sung.
have. I mean, some of us.
Yeah, like Maddie, Leah, Joanna, they've sung
had
in front of
singing
people,
lessons.
and yeah, they've had singing lessons, but the rest of us haven't.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think it was appropriate. Like, I felt like I was gonna pass out.
See, for me,
To that.
but I think it's like different. So, like you would have rather been told in preparation so that you knew
then
the
I'd
time.
be like, okay, I need to start doing it in front of people, so I'll be fine doing it.
Building it up. Whereas for me,
If they did that, like, not last week, the week before, it was like, oh, by the way, next lesson you're doing it, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll just learn how to sing in front of people then.
But like for me, I kind of rather that they put it on the spot because I think I would have freaked out more, and I think that I wouldn't have been as yeah, and I think that's what happened because you know people do that. I mean, it's quite a daunting experience, and some people weren't confident in the songs they had picked. And
I'm actually alright for this lesson. I was like literally today I woke up and I was like,
today,
do I want to go in? Do I don't I? And I was like, you know what? I don't care. This week I've given up on caring what people actually think about me, because there's just no point. They want to say something that I can't sing, that I can't act. Go ahead, because mate, you're not perfect.
Yeah, and that's what they're here for, to help us.
So like, I like really don't care. It's like if she's like, oh yeah, you have something wrong, okay, help me, I'm ready.
Yeah, at least
And I'm
we've
not the
tried.
best, but she even said that some people kill for it, so
You know,
pretend hair flick.
right. So
Next question.
that's it.
No, there's other questions. There's still more questions. Oh, look, can you guys like start going up the upstairs, please? Because we are trying to have Viva. Sorry about that. What is it?
We've done them though.
No.
We've answered them.
How will it help over? No, we've only answered what have you done. How will it help overall for the aim of the terms this unit? Well, confidence, like every single Viva we have. And like they're putting on the spot.
Yeah, and because we've got auditions, we've got to be able to sing and do our monologues in front of people.
Yeah, because like we will go into loads of auditions and they're all different. It's like if one's like, oh, we just want a monologue, the other one's like, we want a dance you've come up with yourself,
2 monologues a song,
5 monologues. Like,
yeah,
we'll be ready. So that will help overall. And for this unit, for those mock auditions, I don't think many of us have actually been to an actual audition. So like,
yeah,
putting us on the spot like that would help because it is like an audition. What ideas, tasks, or theories can you take from one lesson and apply to another?
Well, we already spoke about Gavin's and the animals, taking it into the monologues and help building our confidence performing in front of people.
Could even help with like songs.
Songs, yeah.
Because like you still have to have character in it. Because like for the pop one you don't really, but for the musical ones, yeah, we do.
It's easy to like play it off, really.
Yeah, because you just have to be like, oh, yes.
See, for mine particularly, because mine aren't singy ones, mine are more acty ones, so character is what brings it alive.
Like my upbeat one, I need a character for that, because she's like, oh, honey, she's like really in love.
And so you need to put that across,
like, yeah. What are you needing to develop to achieve this?
Confidence. There we go. And that is the end of our Viva.
Yes.